Welcome to part 5 of this video series on restoring a Reeves Unicorn horizontal steam engine. This video covers painting components and starting assembly of the engine. I started the painting process in parallel to making the box bed shown in part 4 of this video series. Painting of the components for the engine started with removing them from the lacquer thinners and scraping the paint off. This clip shows me removing the paint from the cylinder support. I noticed a coat of etch primer had been used originally. This was easily removed by wire brushing the components. This clip shows the cylinder support in the vise being wire brushed. For harder to reach areas, I used a rotary wire brush in my Dremel tool. This clip shows me cleaning the etch primer off the inner part of the cylinder support. I repeated the paint removal process for all the components. This pic shows some of the engine components following paint stripping. Next, I put a coat of acid etch primer on the components. This clip shows the sole plate being sprayed with etch primer. I masked off the faces that the cylinder support and bearing blocks mount to with painter's tape before spraying the sole plate. This clip shows the cylinder support being sprayed with etch primer. I masked off the area that the cylinder mounts to with painter's tape before spraying. I left the components for 24 hours for the primer to fully dry. This photo shows all the components with a coat of etch primer on them. After the etch primer had fully dried, I began the painting process. I'm using Humbrol French blue enamel to paint this engine. This speeded up clip shows me painting the cylinder support. Next, I painted the steam chest and cylinder covers. I continued putting the first coat of paint on the components. This clip shows me painting the sole plate, the last component to paint. After finishing the first coat, I left the components to dry for around 12 hours. I put another coat of paint on the components and left them to dry. I then hardened the paint in the oven for 25 minutes at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the components had cooled, I began reassembly of the engine. The first step was to make new studs to mount the sole plate on. This clip shows the nuts that hold the sole plate onto the box bed being tightened. Next, I installed the cylinder support onto the sole plate. This clip shows the bolts that hold the cylinder cover down being tightened. This process was quite tedious as there are 8 bolts in total. The bolts towards the cylinder end of the support were difficult to turn, however, I got there in the end. I'll end this video here and continue reassembly in the next one. So, that's the painting completed and assembly of the engine started. Next, I'll be completing assembly of the steam engine. There will be more videos of this project posted soon. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to support my channel. Thank you.